Everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Achua. In this video, I have a little confession. Last year, I got a bunch of decants from Scent Plate, and out of the 18 decants I got, one particular fragrance stood out to me, and I immediately ordered for a full bottle, and that fragrance is Blanche Bete. I have a bottle, but because I traveled, I'm not in Ghana, so whenever I'm traveling, I don't go with my expensive fragrances. I guess to be on the safer side, I just leave them back home, and bring decants along. So in this video, I've been able to get hold of Lattafa's interpretation, or what is reportedly inspired by Blanche Bete's Her Confession. That is the name. And this is the bottle, Her Confession by Lattafa. I sort of like the bottle by itself. I just don't like the cup. It's like long, I don't know, there's something about the cup that I don't like, but the bottle by itself is quite pretty, gold and white, clean. It's nice. I just don't like the comfort of it. I just feel like it's a little too much, somehow. But let's talk about the juice here. Let's talk about the juice. Does it compare to one of my favorite niche fragrances I immediately bought after smelling a decant of? Does it compare to? Let me start with the note structure for this, which includes cinnamon and mystical at the top. So mystical is not like a note, but I know it's sort of a weird fantasy lab manufactured note, and that is what we have at the top. At the middle, we have the note of tuberose, mahonial, jasmine, incense, and then at the base we have vanilla, tonka, and musk. That is what we have for this particular one, Hair Confession by Lattafa. I think in the OG Blanche Bete we have the note of ambrette seed, which is missing from this, and I think that is the only difference when it comes to the note structure. But do they smell, alike? Yes, they do smell alike. They do smell about 95% similar. There are little differences, here and there, and I'm here with all the tea. So let me start off with the negatives when it comes to this particular fragrance. Aside the bottle, the lid that I don't like, aside the lid, it opens up with a bit of an alcohol, blast. There is it's not as smooth at the opening. It opens up with a bit of an alcohol sort of, blast at the opening, but it goes away quickly within 3, 5, 7 seconds. It goes away, and then it begins to, dry down a bit for you to appreciate the fragrance or the juice by itself. I've always seen Blanche Bete, although people describe it as a heavy lactonic scent, like a gourmand lactonic scent. To me, it is more of a floral scent, liaised with that, tuberose, jasmine, before the milk or the lactonic nuance. I get a floral nuances like a lot more than the milk. I'm not too good with milky fragrances, but as soon as I smelled Blanche Bete, it was a milk I could tolerate. And not only could I tolerate, it's a milk fragrance that I love, and that is why I decided to go for the full bottle of Blanche Bete. And in the beginning of the year, I've been looking forward to an inspired by version from a Middle Eastern house, and I think Lattafa has delivered. I think they have done a phenomenal job here because they really smell very identical. It gives me the same feel of that, heavy tuberose, like a very creamy tuberose jasmine, but not like your quintessential heavy heady floral. It doesn't come across, the floral doesn't come across as heady. Jasmine sometimes can be a little heady, but it is not in this. The tuberose feels very creamy and soft and gentle. It also has the note of incense, which gives it like a slightly smoky touch. There's something slightly smoky about it, but not your heavy typical smoky nuance. And then that cinnamon at the top, the cinnamon and mystical. Let me just forget about the mystical because I'm not too sure how it smells, but cinnamon is not like the most the heaviest note I smell, although you get something a little spicy, a little gourmand. I don't think it is coming from the cinnamon, but per se, the cinnamon is not the center stage. It is not the most dominant note. I get the florals, just like I get in Blanche Bete, the original Blanche Bete. I get that more than I do with the milk or the lactonic nuance, and then there's a creamy, it feels like there's a sandalwood, a creamy sandalwood touch to it at the base, and then the vanilla here is like thick and rich. It is not a very fluffy vanilla, although the fragrance by itself comes across as a fluffy whimsical one. It is quite hard to describe when it comes to Blanche Bete. This Lattafa Her Confession, they've been able to capture the whole essence of Blanche Bete. Lattafa has done a phenomenal job. They've been able to capture the whole essence of Blanche Bete when it comes to the floral aspect, the lactonic aspect, the milky aspect, although it doesn't have that ambrette seed, it's been able to capture it with the tuberose, the mahonial, the jasmine, the incense. Very beautiful. I would say it is a good one. I don't think there's a lot I can say about this, but the most simple way I can describe it is that Lattafa has been able to capture the whole essence of Blanche Bete in the form of Her Confession, and it is a good one. One of the few negative things I can associate with Her Confession is the fact that the marks feel slightly, just a little slightly screechy. The marks here feel slightly, but I think it's because the bottle is new. I have like high hopes in this that after maceration is going to blend in beautifully, but when you spray it, you are going to get that heavy alcohol thing, which I also believe is going to go away within a couple of days, or a couple of weeks, so I'm not worried about that at all. That marks, I also have high hopes that it's going to blend in well, with the other notes. And the only thing one other thing I also find quite a little bit off is the fact that there's something which gives me a little bit of a bitterness. There's something like a bitterness I get in this. I don't know where it is coming from. It could be for the fact that it is also new, and if I allow it to settle, it is going to improve, but there's something slightly bitter I get in this that I don't get from the OG Blanche Bete. Scent wise, completely the same thing, 95% the same thing, just that Blanche Bete is intense, much more, richer. There's always something about inspired by fragrances. Although you can say they are like 100%, 10 over 10, there's never been one that I can say is like 100%. Occasionally you get that, but there's always something. Even if a lot of us describe them as 10 over 10, the same thing, there's always something missing. And I find that something missing, I cannot really pinpoint, but that creaminess, that smoothness is there. It is there. I'm not going to dismiss anything like that. Lattafa has done a great job. It is there, but I think it's going to improve after maceration, but even from the jump start right off the bottle, it is a good one. They've been able to capture the whole essence of Blanche Bete, and I'm so happy I have this bottle, so I think it's one of my wish list, Middle Eastern fragrances that has been ticked by the house of Lattafa. It is a good one. If it's a very unisex fragrance, I don't consider this masculine or feminine because it is not sugary sweet. The vanilla here is not sugary sweet, and a creamy sort of sandalwoody feel to it, although this one in particular, Her Confession, doesn't have the notes of sandalwood. It's like a floral, woody, lactonic. That is the best way I would describe it. Or if I'm arranging it in that order, it's going to be floral, woody, and then lactonic. That is how I see it, but it is not that lactonic that is going to turn your stomach. It is not. I've come across a bit of lactonic fragrances that throws me off, makes me nauseous, but Blanche Bete and this Her Confession has not done that to me, yet, so yeah, I think it is a good one, and I'll highly say it is worth the price. For the price, compared to the OG, you are getting a true representation of what Blanche Bete is from a Middle Eastern house, and I think Lattafa has been able to deliver that. So yeah, I don't have much to say, just that it is a good one. It is a good interpretation of Blanche Bete. If I say anything, I'll just be rambling and just buying time doing review, but I'll just say it is a great one, about 95-96% accurate, and I'm sure by the time this macerate is going to be like 98%, which is one of the best I can rate a fragrance when it comes to being an inspired by. So that is going to be it for this, and it's a very beautiful scent, but you need to love lactonic fragrances. You need to love, a bit of a gourmand scent. You need to love, a bit of a different take, it feels like very mysterious. It is not your typical girly, everyday, gourmand one. It feels very mysterious. It doesn't come across as juvenile. It is like a bit of a matured vibe, you know, but very unisex to me. And it has a very good projection, you know. It fills up an entire room. This particular one, you know, the inspired one also fills up a room, and it lasts just like the OG, you know. On skin, I got yesterday when I wore this, I got about at least 6 hours on skin, you know, and on clothes it lasted me like 24 hours. So I think it is going to follow suit when it comes to the performance of the OG Blanche Bete. And that is all I have for you today, and I hope this video found you well. Please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I hope to see you in my next one. Take care. Bye bye.